In the TDS Null and Void event, we of course got another Battle Pass, and in today's video, I'll be ranking all 16 Battle Pass skins out of 10. And as always, I'll be putting them on a tier list from worst to best. So let's go ahead and rank these Halloween skins when it's already Christmas. The first skin we have is the Ghost Demoman. At level 0, he has light blue skin, a black vest, ripped cloth, some metal on one of his legs, and a custom grenade. At level 1, he gets one black glove on one hand and a huge metal fist on the other. At level 2, his grenade changes into a stick design and wears some thin shoulder pads. At level 3, he has a China Lake, longer gloves, and some metal over his shoulders. And at level 4, he has metal shards strapped to his vest and a metal helmet with sharp metal pieces. This is how he looks attacking. Now this skin is pretty decent, however. I think the silly face of the Demoman ruins the skin. If it had a hallowed ghost face, it'd be slightly better. And outside of that, he doesn't have that much detail. I'd give this skin a 6.7 out of 10 and a solid C tier. Next skin is the Null Shotgunner. At level 0, he has purple skin, metal armor on one leg and purple armor on the other, and a gray vest. At level 1, he gains a big purple glove on one hand and a black one on the other. At level 2, his shotgun model changes. He's now wearing a pair of headphones, has a purple shoulder pad on one arm, and gains a little detail on his purple leg. At level 3, his face gains a pair of neon pink eyes with purple streaks coming in. His purple shoulder pad also gains some pink neon spots, and his vest turns purple. And at level 4, his shotgun barrel becomes purple with a blade attached to it, and now has a purple face mask. This is how he looks attacking. Now, the details on this skin are pretty good, but with no custom animation or sound, this skin isn't really anything special. So I can't rate it any higher than a 7 out of 10 and a low B tier. Next up is the Null Soldier. At level 0, he has purple skin. His face has carved eyes and mouth with white pupils. Lastly, he has a black and gray outfit with leg straps and a vest. At level 1, there's purple crystals on his shoulders. At level 2, there's purple fur around his feet. At level 3, the purple fur grows slightly longer. And at level 4, his gun and hat changes with purple crystals sticking out, as well on his shoulders and leg. This is how he looks attacking. Now this is my least favorite skin in the Battle Pass. There's nothing special about this skin and there's not much detail, but the purple and black colors look good. Overall, I'd give this skin a 6 out of 10 and a high D tier. Next is the Plague Medic. At level 0, she's wearing a full black outfit with a brown cloth going over her eyes and a necklace with a ruby on it. Finally, she has a custom bronze Minigun. At level 1, she gains some dark brown gloves. At level 2, her robe now has a thin layer on her shoulders. At level 3, she gains a black plague mask with ruby bronze binoculars and a black hat. At level 4, the back of her robe becomes slightly shorter. And at level 5, she gains a wand with an hourglass and wings. She gains some bronze details on her robe, mask, and hat with a rosy on it as well. This is how she looks using Ubercharge. Now this is a pretty good skin. I like the colors and it's definitely a better plague skin than the Grim Biologist. So I'm giving this skin a 7.6 out of 10 and a mid-B tier. Next skin is the Undead Militant. At level 0, he has green skin, a silver outfit, and a small antenna on his back. On his head, half of his skin is dissolved, exposing a skull with bright green eyes. At level 1, he gains green neon visor glasses and a pair of metallic gloves. At level 2, nothing seems to change. At level 3, his outfit turns black and gray. He loses his visor glasses, parts of his arm and leg become bone, and the antenna on his back becomes slightly longer. And at level 4, his bones become black, the gun model changes, and the head turns into a goat's head with 2 claws on his back. This is what he looks like attacking. Now, I appreciate the custom animations for this skin and the details of his skin dissolving, but I think they could have done more with this skin. Overall, I'm giving this a 7.5 out of 10 and a solid B tier. Next is the Hallow Punk Pyromancer. At level 0, she's wearing a barbarian outfit. She has blue hair, eyes, gun, and fire streaks on her arm. At level 1, there's some gray armor around her hips. At level 2, she gains gray and brown gloves, longer pants, fire streaks on her chest plate, and orange strands on her hair. At level 3, she now has a brown, thick shoulder pad on one arm. At level 4, she gains another shoulder pad on the other arm. And at level 5, her idle pose changes and now has blue sleeves. This is how she looks attacking. Now, this is a very great skin. I love the custom idle pose and the green fire when attacking. It really makes it feel specially themed. My only nitpick is that the pyro could use a bit more detail. Overall, this skin gets a solid 9 out of 10 and a high A tier. Next up is the Ghost Rocketeer. At level 0, he has light blue skin, a dark blue outfit, a custom RPG, and a black helmet with a huge hole. At level 1, he gains silver shoulder pads with small spikes on it. At level 2, his helmet now has spikes on it. His sleeves become black and ripped, and his RPG gains a scope on it. At level 3, he grows a white beard. The RPG loses its scope and instead has a small coffin attached to it. And at level 4, he loses his helmet, showing a white skull with light blue eyes. The shoulder pads become light gray with more spikes. There are light blue chains on his chest, and his RPG turns into a dark blue coffin with a tiny skull sticking out of the barrel. This is how he looks attacking. Now, this is an amazing skin. I adore the custom animations, explosion, and reloading animation, which really makes him look like a true unsettling ghost. But just like the previous skin, I do think the Rocketeer could use a bit more detail. I'll give this skin a 9.2 out of 10 and a low S tier. Next skin is the Vampire Hunter Cowboy. At level 0, he has pale white skin, a white shirt, white hair, brown overalls, a brown hat, and a big custom revolver. At level 1, he gains a pair of black gloves. At level 2, he's wearing a black coat and a pair of red glasses. At level 3, he gains a black face mask, a red stripe on his hat, brown straps on his arms, and red straps on his shoes. At level 4, he gains another gun. And at level 5, his guns become ebony and ivory type guns. His hands become big red claws. He gains skull-shaped leg pads, skull-shaped shoulder pads, a skull, and white details on his hat and a big pair of wings on his back. This is how he looks attacking. Now, this is how he looks spinning at level 0. And this is how it looks at level 4. Now, I think the details on this skin are great, but my main problem is that the animations look a bit rushed, but nevertheless the details make up for it, so I'm giving this an 8.5 out of 10 and a mid-A tier. Next is the Null Crook boss. At level 0, he has black pants and a white shirt with straps and a purple tie. He has a terrified face with purple goo covering half of it along with some more on his arm. At level 1, he's now wearing a suit and his hat becomes a fedora. His head becomes purple, with purple tentacles reaching over his shoulder. Lastly, his arms are now purple, with one of them being ripped and purple streaks growing on one leg. This is what the pistol goon looks like. At level 2, his purple skin becomes darker. There are now some veins on his hat, and there are more streaks on his one leg. At level 3, he now has big purple claws, a corrupted face with a dark purple head. His straps become purple, and there are big spikes coming out of his shoulder. This is what the Tommy Goon looks like. And at level 4, he loses the spikes on his shoulder. The color of his arms change. There are now purple streaks on his gun and more veins on his hat. This is what the Max Tommy Goon looks like. Finally, this is what he looks like attacking. Honestly, this is the best Crook Boss skin TDS has put out. I like the details of the corruption slowly taking over his body at each level and the unsettling animations. The goons also look really great. Overall, this gets a 9 out of 10 and a high A tier. Next up is the Graveyard Mercenary base. At level 0, the base has brown terrain, a gray fence with candles on the corners. On the inside, there's a black pathway with a few gravestones and a dead tree. At level 1, there's now a mausoleum. At level 2, there's now another mausoleum on the other side. At level 3, one of the mausoleums turns into the shape of a pyramid with a purple roof and horns and a bright white door. At level 4, there's now a third mausoleum, and the pyramid-shaped one now has white neon windows. At level 5, the terrain becomes purple, and so do the windows. Finally, at level 6, nothing of the base seems to change. This is how each of the mercenaries look at max. Now, this is an amazing skin. I like all the details of every single mercenary. My only problem is that the base itself could use way more detail. Overall, I'd give this a 9.4 out of 10 and a mid-S tier. Next up. Oh, here we go. It's another Minigunner skin. Anyways, this is the Cursed Minigunner. At level 0, he has baby blue skin, a beige shirt, white sleeves, a brown face mask, brown shoes, and a low-poly wooden minigun. At level 1, he loses his face. He's now wearing a beige hat, and his white sleeves have become longer. At level 2, he's now wearing a full beige coat with chains going over his shoulder and orange streaks across his chest. At level 3, his gun model changes, and on his back there are orange rings on his shoulders and a big brown box. And at level 4, his coat becomes brown. His head and hat become covered in brown with orange gems around it. Finally, his gun has orange streaks wrapped around it. This is how he looks attacking. Yeah, as expected, another Minigunner skin fails to impress. This skin is nothing special, but there's not necessarily anything bad about it. So I'm giving this a 7.2 out of 10 and a low B tier. Next skin is the Werewolf Brawler. At level 0, he has gray fur, brown pants, brown gloves with silver claws, a yellow collar with a green dot, and green glowing eyes. At level 1, the side of his straps becomes yellow. At level 2, his collar becomes bigger. He now has grown hair pushed back with yellow strands on the top. At level 3, there's a piece of bone strapped to his stomach. One of his eyes has a mini-scope on it, and 2 rods is sticking out of his back. At level 4, the end of his hair becomes yellow. There's 2 loose straps on his back and a few bones between his arms. And at level 5, his legs grow longer and his feet turn yellow. This is how he looks jumping. And this is how he looks attacking. Now, I really love the custom animations for this skin. It really gives off the wolf persona well, and the details are great too. Overall, I'm giving this skin a 9 out of 10 and a high A tier. Next is the Null Soul Farm. At level 0, the terrain is black surrounded by blue brick pillars with a black fence and a stairway. On the inside, there's a table with bones and candles on it. At level 1, there's now 2 brick pillars behind the table. At level 2, one of the dead trees grows way bigger. There's now a pointy arch behind the table. In the middle of it, there's a taller stand with a bowl with fire in it. At level 3, the other dead tree grows bigger, and the whole stand moves back a bit with a skull on the right side. At level 4, the stand becomes bigger, there's now an extra skull on the left, and there's a built pathway on the inside. And at level 5, the stand becomes purple, there's now a wall that splits between the middle, which is filled with bones. This is how the skin looks when giving cash. Now, this skin is pretty great. I do think the farm could use a bit more details, but the cool cash receiving animation makes up for it. Overall, this gets an 8.3 out of 10 and a low A tier. Next up is the Ghost Engineer. At level 0, she has light blue skin, a dark blue dress and crown, a chest plate, and light blue hair. At level 1, nothing seems to change. At level 2, she gains some blue cloth on her shoulders and a dark blue loincloth. At level 3, her wand turns into the shape of a ring, and her hair grows much longer. At level 4, nothing seems to change. At level 5, she gains some thick black and blue shoulder pads, and on her dress, there are some black lines on the sides and bottom. Finally, at level 6, she grows more hair. There are some black spikes on her shoulder pads, another gem appears above her chest plate, and the black sides on her dress become bigger. This is what she looks like attacking. And this is what her sentries look like at max. Now this is an amazing skin. I like the idea of the sentries being ghost minions, but the engineer itself doesn't gain much details throughout each level. But the custom sentries make up for it. So I'm giving this skin a 9.2 out of 10 and a low S tier. Next skin is the Werewolf Commander. At level 0, he has dark gray fur, light gray hair, and red glowing eyes. For his outfit, he has a blue ripped shirt, brown ripped pants, a skeleton pistol, and bandages wrapped around his stomach and one of his arms. At level 1, he gains brown ripped sleeves and shoes. At level 2, he gains a skeleton-themed belt and sharp toes. At level 3, he has brown stripes around his arm and thick bone-made shoulder pads and mask. And at level 4, his eyes are glowing a bit brighter, his outfit color becomes maroon and white, his walkie-talkie is shaped like a turkey leg, and there are 2 arrows on his back. These are all his custom voice lines. And these are what his APCs look like. Now, compared to most Commander skins, this one is pretty great in my opinion. Although the custom voice lines are a bit goofy, they are still good. I like the custom APCs, and the color scheme is similar to the Vampire Hunter Cowboy. Overall, I'm giving this skin an 8.3 out of 10 and a low A tier. And for our last skin of this video, we have the Dragon Pursuit. At level 0, the Pursuit is now a gray dragon with black wings and skinny horns. On top of it is a trainer wearing a green outfit. At level 1, nothing seems to change. At level 2, the dragon gains some armor on his front legs, and the front of his head becomes gray. And for the trainer, he gains some thick metal armor on his arms. At level 3, all the dragon's legs become robotic and there are green stripes on its horns. For the trainer, he gains some metal shoulder pads. Now for the level 4 top path, the dragon's head becomes fully gray with green glowing eyes. For the trainer, he's now wearing a knight helmet. And for the level 5 top path, the dragon is now breathing out green smoke, and his wings have some green mixed in. For the trainer, he is now holding a wand in his hand. Now for the level 4 bottom path, the dragon becomes completely purple, and the trainer's armor also turns purple. Finally, for the level 5 bottom path, the dragon is now breathing out purple smoke, and the trainer gets a wand in his hand. This is how the top path looks attacking. And this is how the bottom path looks attacking. Now this is without a doubt my favorite skin in this Battle Pass, and even one of my favorite TDS skins. Both paths are amazing and have awesome animations and explosion effects. Everything about this skin is amazing. This doesn't even feel like it belongs in TDS. So I'm giving this a 10 out of 10 and a high S tier. And there you have it, the Null and Void Battle Pass ranked. This is honestly my new favorite Battle Pass. It consistently gave us many amazing skins besides a couple. But nevertheless, this Battle Pass is yet another great one. Hope you enjoyed this delayed Battle Pass review, and I'll see you in the next video.